on from my friend over at Jomboy, Talkin Jake. What's up?
What's going on, girl? How you doing?
I'm so pumped to have you. And please distract me. My dog is only here for like 10 days so far, and she is so upset when I put her in the crate during the show. All she wants to do is watch.
It's literally the best of times and the worst of times. It's the cutest puppy moments you've ever seen, and then they turn into a monster. So I'm a squeaking noise that can be really tough. But I don't know. It's the corny line of like appreciate it, but also like it stinks.
I know. Okay, so we're going to move on to why your day does not stink, because today was huge news for you guys at Jomboy. And I'm going to show everybody just so that they have an idea of what happened. But you're going to explain to us like this whole thing. So Major League Baseball has acquired an undisclosed minority stake in Jomboy Media. So it grants you guys league and team IP, merch, sponsorship collabs, etc. You guys really made your name with the Yankees at first. However, you've really branched out to all of Major League Baseball. So what does this mean for you guys at Jomboy?
We're excited to see. I know that's like a corny place to start, but at the same time, we've had a lot of conversations with like the right people at baseball, and that was kind of our problem for a few years was getting in front of the right people. And yeah, I mean, honestly, there's so much that it's a little overwhelming right now. Like you mentioned the like logos and stuff. We can sell like really cool team merch and stuff like that like we can design and do that. So we think there's going to be a lot of opportunities there. We can't use like new footage. Like that's not really how it works, but we're hoping to use some old footage and do some creative stuff with that. And I don't know, like we have more access and we haven't decided exactly how we want to use that. We've tried a lot of different things, and as you know, in this forum, like sometimes short form just goes crazy and you just have to hammer short form as much as you can. Sometimes it's like, all right, well, long form, let's figure out the next big thing that we can integrate a bunch of ads into, and that can be the next big winner for us. So I don't know, we're excited to do a lot of our same stuff and hopefully just have Major League Baseball on our side, and they are now. So excited to grow into that and see. I don't want to depict this in a bad light with our new family, but like MLB they haven't been on our team this whole ride, and now they are. So maybe that's the best way to look at it.
Well, we're seeing that MLB is starting to realize that influencers and social media, digital media is the way of the future. It's how to get Gen Z, this younger generation, involved. You guys have seemingly had the foresight to go this direction since back in 2017, finding ways to cater to social media. How did this all begin back then?
Yeah, I mean, I'll again, sometimes I can get a little wordy, so I'll try to keep it as tight as possible.
It's okay. That's why you're a podcast host and everything else.
Talkin Jake. It's ironic because I do a lot of it, but I'm also not fantastic at it sometimes. Anyways, honestly, Jimmy reached out 2017, wanted to do a Yankees podcast. He was living in Cali and wasn't with like his big Yankee family, like TV's on every night. That it was his first time kind of being like, damn, like I don't have anyone to really enjoy the games with. So he started mixing it up on Twitter, and then they asked for a podcast, which he was like, okay. He reached out to me. He said, hey, let's do something once a week. I said, sure, like talk to my buddy for once a week. Why not? Like I'll look back at that and say that's like a good thing I did in my life. Like I won't regret that. And then I think the rooted part of that is, the secret part of doing any of this is like there's a chance you think you might be good at it. So me and Jimmy were always silly guys in school or amongst our friends or whatever. And from there we got just a little bit of traction. I mean, Jimmy also has like a video and audio background. He went to school for that for a little bit. So that was one of our difference makers. He used to go through audio and make sure stuff sounded really good and all of that. So that was definitely huge to have, still is. And then we just kind of kept growing into whatever people wanted. We went from one episode of Talkin Yanks a week to two. And then from there, it was like, hey, I remember the one for me because I'm a sports loser. I go if I go to a hotel room, it's like ESPN, like that's it. Like I just watch sports. I'm Stanley Cup, sure, NBA, whatever. Like I go home and I watch sports. I'm an old Italian man. That I remember I wanted to do all of baseball, and Jimmy was like, I kind of watch the Yankees. Like, I'm not there yet. And then I brought it up a couple months later, and he kind of looked at me and he was like, give me like 3 months because the breakdowns really started to go. And I was like, all right, here we go. And then that started to lead into all of baseball and talking baseball. And we got our first investment. We got like a small office in the Bronx, hired our first couple people. COVID hit, horrifying. Baseball was the first sport back, and we ended up crushing it just because we were like, okay, we have to. I mean, those scary COVID New York City times of being locked in an apartment, like, wait, did we just blow our chance? Like, did it just end? That we worked pretty much every day for the 60-game season and then the playoffs as well. And we ended up having a quote unquote like good business year. So our investors were stoked because every other business did bad. That we got another investment. We got an office in Manhattan, and now we're here. We got like 60 employees. It's insane.
It's crazy to think that it all took off and just two friends starting a show. How did you get those connections to meeting guys like at the Yes Network and getting Aaron Boone, the Yankees manager, on your show? I mean, you were just two friends who were Yankees fans.
Yeah, I mean, it originally when things were really rolling, it was people reaching out that we kind of had to do a sniff test on and be like, okay, who are you? And is this anything we want? Like, what do we need? Again, it was good timing to be in like the podcast YouTube space. And I think the other secret is like baseball fans are baseball fans, that like we got linked up with people who like baseball that were looking for us. So we, knock on wood, our original investors is a group of guys in LA, led by Jack Davis, who he's just a big Dodgers fan that does some different stuff, that wanted to get involved. And there are some extensions of it's just baseball people that were looking for this, to be honest. And then, from there, it just kept going and going. It was wild times. And Jimmy used to get really tough against it because the Astros scandal was one of the big,
I mean, that was really the big thing when you guys called out the garbage cans.
Was the biggest story in baseball. It was the biggest story in sports, which baseball doesn't do a ton of, but it was also like one of the biggest sport stories in the country. Like, people love a scandal. But we did secure our first investment before the Astros scandal. So we do like to get that out there.
Okay, so you guys get the Astros scandal essentially, and you expose one of the hottest teams in baseball. How do you guys handle that kind of pushback, I guess, when your job is to cover the league, but now you're kind of like, I mean, you're really dealing with like a massive issue there.
Well, that's one of the wildest things about it, because Jim didn't reveal that. Like, there was an article written that revealed that it was Ken Rosenthal and Evan Drellich, I believe, was the original Athletic article. But honestly, it should be a case study in every college of, it was back when it was behind a paywall. So baseball people went in and read it, and it was like, oh my God, the Astros are cheating, and there's a player attached to it telling the story, and it was a whole deal. That, like, in baseball, everyone was like, damn, this is a thing. Jimmy at the time was just so active and go-getter for anything video or anything baseball, that his natural reaction was like, wait, okay, this pitcher says in this inning that he heard the banging. Literally went to the YouTube video of that game, went to that inning, and you see the pitcher step off the mound, and he's like, what? Like, something's wrong. And so Jimmy put together the video, and when any baseball person, any sports fan sees the video for the first time, you're like, oh, they're cheating. So it was one of the that it should be in every college media class or wherever they teach it, that like the difference between video and handwritten, like sometimes it's extremely impactful, and that was a major example.
Yeah, I mean, we see it all the time with, even as bad as this is, players getting suspended.
Right.
It's videos that are the reason we've seen lifetime bans like Ray Rice, as opposed to just word of mouth and not really knowing from the storylines. But you guys have, okay, and I'm gonna like kind of out you here a little bit, but you guys aren't as young as your audience tends to be. Like, we're what, I'm assuming in our 30s, right?
I came on here to be a good friend, and now
Please,
we are in
you
our
don't want
mid
to be Gen
30s.
Z.
Yes.
You don't want to be them, but you know how to cater to them. And I find it so impressive, because the biggest thing that I struggle with is sticking with the times of like catering to this new generation. Now, I know for me, I've always grown up wanting to be on TV and a broadcaster and so professional. This generation wants chill, cool, vibey, like so casual. How do you find the way to keep this young audience, or like get this young audience like going viral like you guys always do?
It's a great question, AE, because in a way, one of the things that me and Jimmy were always super appreciative of is we get to be ourselves. Like Jom in person, it will be a little more shy and just not out there. Like I'm me, and I can't turn it off. Like if you see me in the subway, if you see me, like I'm the same cat. That we were always appreciative of that, because some people at like Barstool have different personalities that they put on screen, and that's how they have to live our lives. We always got to be ourselves, which was really cool when you're doing content, because you don't really feel a pressure to go elsewhere. I'll say one of the things that has been lucky with timeline or growth of the company is, like I don't really TikTok. Like that's okay. You exposed me. Now I'm was going to say I'm exposing
It's
myself,
so
and that's,
frustrating, that app.
that's take me out. That no, like we now have a social media team that I'll do some videos, and they'll post it on my TikTok, and we'll go that way. But it's tough, and it becomes a survival mechanism a little bit, that, I think you understand that. You're just constantly adapting, and like I know there about a year and a half ago, YouTube Shorts were the only ways to really get subscribers, so we just hammered YouTube Shorts for a year. So it's a weird mix of doing the content you want to do, playing whatever the game is at that time, and then just responding to the audience. That I don't know. I never go in with the intention of like, oh, I've got a bunch of 18-year-olds watching. What do they want to see? And I guess that's one of the other perks of just like, I don't know. I want to talk ball. I want to talk any ball. That I think that ends up resonating.
What's been your really like cool moment so far? Like an OMG, we made it.
It's a good question. It's tough because I don't want to say there's so many cool ones, but I'm a sports fan. Like Bartolo Colon was in our office today, and like my fantasy baseball crew growing up, like he was like the inside joke. Like every draft, like we talk about Bart. Like he grew up. He literally grew up. He used to throw coconuts to build up his arm. Like that, the guy's a legend, and he was in the office today. So I always just try to be appreciative of moments like that. I will give you one corny thing, and I can't believe I'm referencing this because I need to stop. But I'm a sports guy. I listen to Bill Simmons and Jon Stewart after I think the Knicks lost game 2, which we watched. And no, it's funny. I don't normally crush Bill Simmons' content, but when it's playoff time, I will. I'm a big Ryan Russillo guy. Jon Stewart was asked, he was like, what was your you made it moment? And, Jon Stewart, hosted the Daily Show for years, and he's involved in comedy, politics, and all this. And he had really good perspective that he was like, my like made it moment was the day I moved to New York City and I signed a 6-week lease on an apartment, and I left. I think he said he was living in Trenton, New Jersey, and it was like he went for it. So I don't know. I don't have a lot of moments where I look around and I'm like, oh my God, we made it. But at the same time, I just try to be appreciative of the fact of like, we're kind of doing this, whatever this is. And that in and of itself is pretty cool.
So your I made it moment wasn't when I told you about the guy I went on a date with who was more starstruck by the fact that I knew you guys?
So that was my B answer. That was my B answer. No, hey, I'll say that. That's always, well, not that exact example. Not that exact example.
Just for backstory, so everyone knows, I went on a date with a guy who, like, for a date idea, asked if I wanted to go with him, and he'd get my ticket to one of the Jomboy events that they did to live watch a Yankees game. I said, "Do you want me to like FaceTime them for you right now?"
I don't know. That sounds like a nice time. No,
Imagine me
it's
going
always
on a
cool.
date to a Jomboy event.
Come on. That's the perfect first date. This city's tough. Come on. Come on.
Oh man, Jake, no, that was too good. Okay, what's up next now for Jomboy? Now that MLB seems to be backing you, I know you said you could sell merch, but like, what's something that Jomboy is looking forward to in the future?
I think, some of their prime events we've had limited access to, which again, we don't even hate because in a way, like we're not real media, we're our own deal but just like All-Star game, we should have some more access there if we want to talk to players and do all of that. Like World Series, it's just crazy that we've built such a busy content slate that it's not easy to be like, hey, let's go to the World Series. It's like, no, we've sold live streams, we've done this, that, and the other. But I don't know, even some like winter meetings like that brings out the baseball nerd in me, and hopefully we'll have more places that we can participate in and stuff like that. But that was kind of, and a credit to MLB, sucks up to the league. But no, I mean, our whole thing is like we want to do what we do. And part of this deal is they are letting us do what we do. So that we're excited to do that with the league like behind us and supporting us. And we, Talkin Yanks, Talkin Baseball are the two top baseball podcasts, and they haven't, like, MLB hasn't like supported them. So I kind of we want to see where it starts to grow and then go from there.
Let's talk a little baseball before I let you go. The Yankees,
yes,
World Series again, or you think they need a little bit more?
Tiger fans have not been happy with me because I default.
Sean Michael in the chat is excited for this because he's a diehard Tigers fan.
Hey, I love what the kiddies are doing. But for me, like the Yankees went to the World Series last year. Like that should be respected a little bit. Let's see what we've got. Like, let's see does Luis Gil become a part of this season? They need more arms. I've been hammering the desk the past couple years that their lineup has just gone too thin. I mean, after Soto and Judge last year, the second half of their lineup was just like a flyover state. So I need the Yankees to get a little more pitching. I think a high leverage bullpen piece. Because, hey, look at the Dodgers last year. They made it pretty far when it was just like Flaherty, and then Buehler finally kicked into life. But they didn't have the strongest rotation until the end. So the Yankees need a little more pitching. They need a good deadline, though. If they don't, then I don't like Houston's sneaky in the mix, and nobody's really talking about that.
Houston's always the team that literally could care less in the first half. Then the second half, you're like, oh, how'd that happen?
They're in first right now, and nobody's talked Houston.
No. Well, and the AL East is having a down year too, but no one's talking about how close the AL West is. The AL East, do you see anyone aside for the Yankees putting up a fight?
We're going to find out about the Red Sox soon. If that Yankee series sparked them and Roman Anthony something, we'll see if they get back in the mix. I have no info or data or anything to back this. I've always liked the Blue Jays. And
yeah, I like them every year too, just like the Padres. And every year they piss me off.
This is the first year that I feel like they're into June and the vibes are still good. And I know a chunk of their rotation. Their bullpen's actually been really good. So there's one piece of information. But I don't know. Like Addison Barger's come onto the scene, and they have Santander was supposed to be a huge piece for them. He's hurt and he didn't give them anything. That I don't know. There's good vibes in Toronto. They went into this year with the feeling of we might be losing Vladdy. We might be trading Vladdy. Like, what is our franchise? Instead, Vladdy's locked up. I think if the playoffs started today, they're in a wild card spot. That I have a little bit of hope for the Great North.
Ooh, okay. I mean, I do hope that the Blue Jays follow through because I feel bad they've gotten snubbed on all the big names at every single offseason
Right?
free agency.
Crazy.
Good karma's coming their way at some point, just like it did for you guys over at Jomboy. Talkin Jake, let everyone know what they can watch and where from the Jomboy platforms.
We do way too much still. That's the other side of this MLB.
What are you on?
I want to tell them I need to slow down. I don't know. Go check out baseball and you'll find our stuff. And I say that in a not cool way, but Talkin Baseball podcast, Jomboy's breakdowns. Like if you're not watching those, I don't know what you're doing. And we always got something new coming. So we'll see you. We'll see you at some point. We've probably if you're watching this, we've ruined your search page on Instagram.
I love it. I love every time that you guys pop up on my feed. So Talkin Jake over at Jomboy, congratulations on the big move with MLB, and we will talk to you again soon, and hopefully we'll do some gambling at some point.
Let's go. Some parlays. That's where we win.
Hell yeah. We got to make more money off this. Even though you're making money, we love to see it. We'll talk to you again soon, and go Yanks.
See you, Ariel.